Hilux, the goal, the dream, the objective. But this is my reality. Before we go down the rabbit hole of Hiluxes, I'd like to ask a couple of things. If you like the video, like it, share it, and consider subscribing to the channel. That'd be fantastic. I do have a PayPal link in the descriptions down below. I fund all this myself, so if anyone could input some cash, no one ever does, but if anyone could throw some cash my way to help, that'd be fantastic. Your input and your help, whether it's verbal or just a few bucks, is much appreciated. Now, on with the show. If you know me, you know that in 2020 I did a full Hilux Resto, taking 2 years. The Ningi Nugget was formerly a farm ute found in Noosa that I rescued, restored completely, and rehomed in 2022. Through a series of weird coincidences, I was offered redemption. Check the video out here. It was the cheapest running classic four-wheel drive Hilux in Australia. I didn't really want it, but for 800 bucks, I couldn't resist the offer, and I didn't want to see it go to the scrappers. Redemption was rustier than the Titanic, and it was a little above my skill set, and I was sort of in limbo as to what to do with it. Then in early 2023, a rust-free Hilux 1980 model popped up on Marketplace, yet again the cheapest running classic four-wheel drive Hilux in Oz. So I bit the bullet, jumped on it, and hatched a very evil, wicked plan. What if I could make one good Hilux from the two? Yes. This time it's not going to be an OG Resto like the Ningi Nugget. I want to go a little radical, a little out there, and I want to produce something that looks similar to those utes you saw in the beginning intro. 80s cool, jacked up, stripes, but with a modern twist. I want it to drive more like a modern car because the Ningi Nugget was like a tractor, as are these ones. Maybe an engine swap, suspension changes, and a full interior build. What do you reckon? This episode is the beginnings of that transformation where I take parts off one and put them on the other and vice versa, trying to put all the good things on the white Hilux because it has the better cab, chassis, equal. I want to get your input on the type of engine or the progress or the direction we should go. Do we go a classic color, a modern color with classic stripes? I want to ask those questions at the end. So we'll see you then. All right, taking the top plate off. I think this is missing some kind of lever that keeps this open for choke or closed for choke and then opens up. I've undone it. Just about to pull it off. Got to disconnect the cable and everything, and then we'll do the same on the red truck. Yep, we got the old Jim Beam cardboard gasket. She's done a treat. More vintage gaskets. All right, so the red truck has still got the studs in it that the carby sits on, and the Weber one on this doesn't, so I've got to swap it all around. So you've got to remove these studs out. Simple, put two nuts on, tighten them right down, start undoing the bottom one, and you should pull the stud up and out. We're going to put it over here, the same spot. Voila, just like I bought one. Now I do that 3 more times. Alright, I've got it all off. Fuck, I keep dropping shit. I just noticed that the old manifold's been all bored or ported out to match this flange here. So you can see on this one it doesn't exactly match. Should I change the manifolds? I don't think I will. I don't think it's going to matter greatly to the performance of a 40-something-year-old truck. I'm just going to put it on. There we go. It's on. This truck had an electric fuel pump put in and a line putting up to the Weber, but I've put the old carby back on, an original carby. I've run the original fuel line out down to the mechanical fuel pump. I'm going to guess that may be routed, but we'll see if it works. I'd rather than running the electric pump. And yeah, all I've got to do now is, that's for the electric choke. That's the cord there, but it's been cut over here, so I'm going to have to solder that together. Cables back on, all of the linkages are back on. So this one, tomorrow at some point, I will get the airbox in. I've got to root around a little bit with that because I want to paint the airbox a little better than that. Yeah. What the hell? Oh. That was leaking. Yeah. Well, that's fucked. I think the cable's jamming up. The linkages are playing up, so I'm going to have to pull all that apart and do something about it. Might need just a decent grease or clean. It is still leaking fuel from the old mechanical fuel pump that's on the white truck, so I'm guessing that's why they put the electric fuel pump on. I don't like the electric fuel pump, it drains the battery. I'm going to see if I can take the red one, take the mechanical pump off the red one. That should do the job. Nearly blew it up, but it sounds good. All right, out. You can see she's a bit worse for wear, so I'll put that back in the red truck, and the red truck's cable is in much better condition. I'll put this in, make some adjustments, and I think we'll be good. Redemption has had some serious work done to it probably 20 years ago, and the bucket seat was redone in a nice leather. I've taken it out because I was going to implant it into the white one, because the seats in the white one were absolutely feral, and they've butchered the shit out of it to try and get the seats to fit. And the main seat for the driver, the driver's seat, was not even bolted down at the rear, so it was flopping forward all the time. It was quite dangerous, actually. I cannot use the bench seat without some dramas because of what they've done with the blue seat. They've been drilling holes everywhere. Like unicorn poo, I've managed to find a set of seats that aren't Hilux seats, but they have the original 46, RN46, that's what these are, has the original seat rails for these trucks. I headed out to a place out at Laidley to go and get them, picked them up, brought them home, not overly fussed with them in the end, paid $300, and guess what? They're fucked. I will make them work, but there's a lot of issues with it. Let's check out how I got them, and then we're going to look at cleaning them, pulling off the rails, repairing the rails, replacing some parts, get them looking sweet and dandy, not tardy like they are right now. Alright, seats are here. Again, not what I want, but I might dye them. I'm going to throw them in the backyard and water blast them with the ones out of the white truck. And I've got 3 sets of seats to clean. Yippee-ki-yay. Now I've missed in here, look, so we've got some carname inside the groove here, so I'm going to have to water blast that out again. And then I didn't realise, but I've got this little beauty, so we'll get in there and suck it out. Look at that. It always amazes me how bad the shit is when you actually pull that out and look at it, because as I was sucking it up off the seat, it still looked pretty clean. There was no real brownness coming out, but there you go. So I cleaned the seats yesterday. Today, let's have a look at them. Just drying them in the sun here. Much cleaner. Me being me, I'm not going to put them in the truck like that. There's too many colours. I went out this morning and got some dye. I've tried to spray it to try and match the interior, like a beige for Whitey. But yeah, it's not going to cover the red, so for that. Bench seat's going back in Redemption, giving that a clean this morning. Not super fantastico, but clean, bearable. I've soaked it in some leather conditioner, probably do a couple more hits. I'm getting better, but whew, I tell you, it's doing stuff and talking takes my breath away. Stop. Rewind. Let's go back. Change of plan. Instead of fighting the wind, I've decided to tact and go with the wind and with the colours. This being Redemption being red and black, I decided to install the seats in Redemption, and the bench seat is now in the white Hilux. So white Hilux came with crappy seats, not even properly installed, dangerous. The bench seat from this I was going to put in the white truck. When I took the seats out of the white truck, I noticed that there'd been holes drilled everywhere and they weren't seated properly, and I didn't know if I could fit the bench seat in there without making more of a mess of the floor pan and whatever else. So I went and found these seats because they had the rails that fit this truck. Now this truck was originally a 2-seater and they got a mod plate to make it a 3-seater. That's why those shitty blue seats are in there. So I was just trying to keep with the originality of the truck. Even though the seats aren't original, I thought they'd look nice if I could dye them black, right? Well, it kept fighting me at every length and breadth and every angle. So, bugger it. I put them in here, had to drill some holes, only 2. And yeah, they fit nicely in there. And I managed to get the bench seat to fit nicely in the white truck. I'm going to give this a good thorough clean, and we're going to get stuck into this in a minute. It is rather disgusting. Right, doesn't look as good as the OG. That's it under there. That's still bloody glue on that. Anyway, it's a lot cleaner. and looks cleaner up through here. This is a lot cleaner. Look at that, even a bit of a sparkle. Fucking shit.
Feeling under pressure.
Ghetto Resto. Alright, halfway there, truck. She's sitting it looks a lot meatier, and with 33s on it, sitting a lot higher. Looks all jacked up, it looks like a squatted truck now. Guard is off, and it looks like it is a replacement guard. It's not original, it's one of them very cheapish imports. Got to drill out these holes to put the Hilux sticker in off this guard. Got it. As you can see, we've got some repairs to do. I'll cut a plate and put it over the top of it. Same with this here. They're both inside the cab. And we'll seal it. But I know I've got a problem in there as well, and I'm not sure how to get to it. The gap in the next model is a bit bigger than this. And as I said, this doesn't come off too easy. The next model does. So God only knows what I'm going to do. That's ready to go on redemption. I've pulled the tub off redemption very slowly. It is in a sorry state, really. There's more damage in places than I thought on the base of the tub. That's going to need a little bit more work. So I've given that a quick clean. No footage. That's going to need a hell of a lot of work to fix. So yeah, and this took forever. My old footage, this took forever to peel out. I'm going to ask you lot out there for your opinion. Today I was about to put the aluminium tray back on to redemption and get it ready to sell, and I received a inquiry or notification from somebody who wants redemption, but they want me to do the restoration, and they've given me a budget. My problem is I'm not an expert. I feel like a bit of an imposter doing it for someone else like that. If it's for myself, it's different. And I don't know if I want to go ahead with it or not. The budget he's given me would have worked 2 years ago when I did the Ningy Nugget. I didn't really allow any of my time in Ningy Nugget's build. If I had, I probably made no money on it. So do I want to go ahead with that, or do I just want to sell the truck as is with the tray on it for about $3,000?
Nick minute.
Oh shit. We've got the hard part done. I'm going to try and lift it and slide it. It's still going to be hard on my own. And as you can see, The red truck that nearly killed me, really. Anyway, I'm going to take some photos and we're going to list it. If you're still here, thank you for hanging and sticking in there with me. That's been like a four months worth of work there in that video, and I thought just get it out there, otherwise I'm going to end up with a backlog of footage. Why did I go ahead and do all that? Well, I want to get the white Hilux to a point where I can get it registered and just drive it around for a bit and get a feel for it as my ideas from both you and me filter through my charcoal brain. What are we going to do? I've actually got an idea on doing some kind of major swaps. Anyway, hit me up in the comments down below. Don't forget to check the PayPal link down below as well, but hit me up in the comments and just let me know what you think would be a good engine. Can we do something with the leaf spring suspension so it doesn't drive like a tractor? Just stuff like that. Find it, buy it, fix it, flip it, have some fun along the way. Remember, rushy. And yeah, Hilux to the moon. That's how we're going.
I got blessings falling on me. I got weapons.